What's going on, everyone? This is Talks with Kenny, and let's get into this article. Biden dismisses record high inflation news as out of date. So I did a video earlier before that when Karine Jean-Pierre was bracing for impact because they believe that the inflation rate will be high, and we were right. I had guessed in my video that it would have been like 6.9, but I guess I was giving them too much credit. He created a all-time high now in 40 years, 9.1% inflation rate. My goodness. Like the Biden administration is always talking about how they're making inflation a priority, but it always seems like it gets worse. So is it a priority to make things better or worse? I can't understand with this administration. Let's get into the article. President Joe Biden responds to news of inflation reaching a fresh 4-decade high by arguing that the report is outdated. The Consumer Price Index rose 9.1% between June 2021 and June 2022. According to a Wednesday morning report for the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, exceeding the Dow Jones estimate of 8.8%. My goodness. While Biden acknowledged that the inflation reading was unacceptably high, he deflected by inserting that the data was also out of date. Energy alone comprised nearly half of the monthly increase in inflation, and today's data does not reflect the full impact of nearly 30 days of decreases in gas prices, he said. In a statement noting that the gas prices have fallen by 40 cents since June, those savings are providing important breathing room for American families. Yeah, but indeed, gas prices fell to $4.63 per gallon as of Wednesday, according to the AAA. Yet national average gas prices in early June surpassed $5 per gallon, a reality reflected in most recent inflation reports. Gas prices were $2.38 per gallon ahead of Biden's inauguration and $3.53 ahead of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So even though he saved us 40 cents, coming from $3.53, that we still feel the increase, Joe Biden. Like 40 cents is not enough. It's starting to look like if you really want to address this, you need to start putting some of Trump's policies back in place, man. You got to put your pride aside here and do what works. Stop towing party lines. Stop doing this agenda bull crap, and do what works. If you want to really save us gas if you really want to decrease the gas prices, do what worked in the previous administration, because the previous administration didn't have this problem that you're dealing with now. Maybe you should take a page out of their book. The Russians' invasions of Ukraine, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Biden added that other commodities like wheat fell sharply since the June report, which shows the price of cereal and bakery products rising 13.8%. However, high fuel and fertilizing prices are levying heavier cost pressures on farmers across the world. However, Biden assured the nation that tackling inflation is his top priority. Inflation is our most pressing economic challenge, he continued. It is hitting every country in the world. It is little comfort to Americans to know that inflation is also high in Europe. I don't care about Europe. I'm caring about what I'm going through, what my family's going through, what my fellow Americans are going through. Like, who cares? If we had the highest inflation rate out of all the Europe countries, I'll be pissed right now. It doesn't matter if they have more than us, less than us. Our standards of living is lower than it was last year. And that happened after you got into office. I need to take responsibility, because it seemed like Biden, like I said, they were bracing for impacts. I called this since yesterday. They don't want to take any accountability for any negativity, any of their failures or their shortcomings in this administration. They always brag about, we're going to be the party of leadership. We'll take accountability and responsibility. You're not doing that. You're running. You want to blame everyone but you. But it's a reminder that all major economies are battling this COVID-related challenge. Were made worse by Putin's unconscionable aggression. While responding to the May's inflation reports last month, Biden likewise characterized inflationary pressure as Putin's price hike. Biden also claimed that inflation is worse everywhere than in the U.S., even though the United Kingdom, Germany, Canada, South Korea, and Japan are all seeing lower rates of inflation, according to the data from the Organization of Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD. Among other actions, Biden committed to bringing down the price of gas by continuing his historic release of oil from his strategic from our strategic petroleum reserve. Though the policies of releasing 1 million barrels of oil per day was touted by the White House as an unprecedented move to provide a historic amount of supply to Americans facing high prices, a report from Reuters showed that at least 5 million barrels of oil was exported to European and Asian countries during the month of June, including to Chinese firm with links to Hunter Biden. Yeah, this Hunter Biden thing, oh my goodness. If this was Trump Jr., it will be all over the news. The media, these journalists I made a video where I made the claim that, and I backed it up with some sources that I referenced early in the video, that most of the corporate media is biased. The majority of them are registered Democrats. So they're looking out for their team member here, and they don't want to put anything that would negatively affect Biden. And this whole Hunter Biden thing, we find out his laptop wasn't misinformation. Look, this bias reporting, it got to stop, honestly. And this is why I believe corporate media is really losing here. They need to be broken up, parallel economy. I don't care what it is. And I want to, all this biased reporting. Oh, I don't want to report anything bad on my team. At least with me, it's more personable, right? My biases. Like, I'm checking it right here. You see it. We see where the sources are coming from. Like most sources that are reporting this story are Republican sources. Centrists are in the middle as usual, and then the left are underreporting these stories. And I always call it, hey, search for yourself. I'm not telling you how to think about things. I'm just showing you, hey, this is my rationale. This is how I'm reacting to the news, and this is how I process information. And if you find value in that, I welcome you to subscribe. Let's get back into this. Referring to the declining oil prices, Biden also asserted that oil and gas companies must not use this moment as an excuse for profiting by not passing along savings at the pump. He also called on gas stations which earns margins as low as 1.4% on their fuel to bring down their prices. That can't happen. You want these gas stations to close and make the economic situation worse? Biden vowed to urge Congress to act this month on legislation to reduce the cost of everyday expenses that are hitting American families, including prescription drugs, utility bills, health insurance premiums, and many Democratic lawmakers are introducing legislation that would allow Biden to control price, such as by declaring an energy emergency to stop fuel companies from selling at prices deemed unconscionably excessive. But they can't really control that. That's supply and demand. If cost is high, if it costs more to get a certain product, they have to raise prices for break even. Especially if their margin is that small, 1.4%. You guys are asking for the impossible. This is the same issue with rent control. You guys control the rents, and then you inadvertently make it more expensive because there'll be less available locations for people to go, for the consumer to go. Just let free market do its thing. Free market enterprise is the way to go, honestly. I think government needs to pick its battles and know where it can inject itself and where it should not inject itself. And I believe this is one of them. Like, I don't think they should be going in here telling private companies who are better at managing resources than they are to tell them what to do, when the government time over time shown that whenever they get involved in something, it gets completely worse. Well, let me guys know what you think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.